All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Melissa, and tonight I'm here to guide you through an all levels yoga practice. We'll practice together for 45 minutes. As a reminder, listen to your body. So if any of the stretches aren't working for you, please skip them, come on out and modify them. And as we begin, you may want to grab some props. So I always like having a blanket close by. I also like having a yoga block close by. So feel free to grab those or grab a prop that looks similar to that. As we begin today, I just wanted to start with a quote that I came across the other day, something that the Buddha was asked when he was asked what he had gained from meditation. He replied, nothing. Then he continued, however, let me tell you all the things that I have lost: anger, anxiety, depression, insecurity, fear of old age, and death. So I thought that was kind of cool. You know, sometimes when we do yoga, we do meditation, we don't really realize that it has so many benefits. You know, we just come to the yoga mat for the physical practice, you know, to feel better. But as we do it, we just start to feel, you know, more relaxed. We feel less anxious. We feel more calm, at ease. We're a little bit nicer. So it's kind of cool to see how meditation, yoga ripples into all the different areas of our lives. So as we start today, let's come into a seated position. And you may want to grab a block to sit on. Sometimes if the hips are a little bit lifted higher than the knees, it will help to gently roll the pelvis forward, which can take some pressure off of the knees. And it can also help you to sit with a little bit of a straighter back as well. Letting the eyes close and then just taking a couple of moments here to drop into your breath in your body. Observing your connection to the mat, so just noticing where your body is meeting the ground. And grounding into the sitting bones. Lengthen your spine. And then let's begin to drop in and connect to the rise and the fall of the breath. Lengthening your breath as you inhale and lengthening your breath as you exhale. And then through our time together on the yoga mat, just remembering to listen to your body and to carry your connection to your breath. So, you know, sometimes when we go through the practice, we get really caught up in the poses and the movements, but just try to keep breath as a focal point. Set an intention if you would like. So intention could be anything that you would like it to be, maybe to clear the mind of thoughts, to keep the breath flowing in and out. Intentions are a nice way to connect us to the practice and to help make the practice our own. Let's begin to draw the chin into the chest, lengthen the back of the neck. Allow for your head to roll to the right. So I'll just invite a nice neck stretch here. Come back to center, chin to your chest. Let your head release off to the opposite side. And then realign. We'll take our chin back into our chest and begin to circle here. So maybe find large circles, maybe find smaller circles. And then begin to circle in the other direction. So we'll just reverse that movement. As you come to a neutral neck here, let's take that circling into the torso. Begin to gently shift the weight around from side to side. And this movement is great for getting into our low back, getting into the mid, into the upper back. And then also great for getting into the sides of the body a little bit. So just find a little length here and find a little bit of space here. And circle in the other direction. So we'll just reverse that movement. And then as you circle, just feeling your body reacting to the movement. As you shift your weight to the right, maybe feel your left sitting bone, maybe feel the left leg lifting up and lifting off of the yoga mat a little bit. Let's come to neutral, and making your way forward, we'll come into table. And as you come into table, maybe grabbing that blanket to pad your knees. And let's take our knees, our hips in line. We'll also take the wrists and the shoulders in line. And then feeling the fingers stand wide. So pressing through the index finger and through the thumb. Right knee begins to come into fire hydrant and begin to create circles here. So maybe find large circles, maybe find smaller circles. And then begin to circle in the other direction. Let's take the right foot to the right. We're going to do a little gorilla kick. So flex your foot, press through your heel, back of your knee, and then lowering your foot down, rising up, working with a variation of gate pose, Parigasana. Hands will reach up, breathe here, and release. Let's take that one 5 more times. It's a great opportunity to open up the shoulders a bit. As your hands relax down, right hand onto your right hip and left arm extends up and over. We'll transition to a side stretch here. Roll the left shoulder back, right shoulder rolling under, and feel that your heart is shining up to the sky. Let's engage the core as you float through center. We're going to lower that left hand down, right hand lift, pausing in variation of side plank, Parigasana. And then staying here, maybe lifting that leg up, maybe hand for foot if you'd like to work with a bind. Try to create a little bit of a sensation here of kicking the foot into the hand. Let's release that, and we're going to come back on up. Core engages as you rise. Hands to the top of your yoga mat. Right foot will sweep off to the left, finding a C curve for your spine. Walk your hands off to the left. And then maybe gaze off your left shoulder and just see if that gives you a little bit more of a stretch. Begin to release. We're going to take it back into table. Lower your stomach down. Lift up through your heart. Let your tailbone lower. Feel the crown of your head lowering. And then flow through cat and dog stretch for a moment. Try to lengthen your spine as you inhale. Lengthen your spine as you exhale. As you inhale, let your shoulders relax from the ears. We'll create that space between the ears and the shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades moving down your back. And then on the exhale, round your back. Imagine creating space between the shoulder blades. Coming to our neutral spine, let's float that left leg up. We're going to find our way back to fire hydrant. Feel that the core is working here. So we want to feel our navel scooping back and up to the spine a little bit. Circle in the other direction. Last foot takes that kick out to the left. Maybe try to lift that foot up a little bit higher. Lowering the foot down, rising up. Full breath in. And release. Circle in the other direction this time. Fingertips sweep up. And then arms out and around. We'll give the shoulders a different rotation. Letting the hands release. Let's take our left hand onto our left hip. Right hand reaches up and over. And then rolling that right shoulder back a little bit, left shoulder under, and feel that your heart is shining up to the sky. Come back to neutral. Let's take that right hand down, left hand left. And decide where you would like to go with this one. You may want to lift your leg up for a little bit more. You may want to take your hand to meet your foot. And make sure that you're breathing. Really easy to hold your breath on this one. Last release. Float your foot back on down. Core engages as you come on up. Hands to the top of your yoga mat and take your left foot off to the right. Landing in that nice side stretch, nice C curve for your spine. Hands can walk to the right and then gaze floats off the right shoulder. And release. Let's do a little reset. Resetting through the hands. Reset on our knees. Let's work this plank on the forearm. So for this one, we're going to drop right down onto our elbows. Reach for opposite arms. Hands come out in front. Either fingers interlock, palms touch. And then holding plank for a moment. If you need to, knees can always lower down to the mat for support. Feel your tailbone tuck. Feel the navel move back and up to the spine a little bit. And then try to create that line that flows through the spine. Neutral gaze at the space between the forearms to let the back of your neck lengthen. Reach and stretch through the crown of your head. Feel that really strong connection of the forearms into the earth. Knees will begin to lower. Toes will curl under and sit back onto your heels. We'll work with toe stand. Option to stay here if you would like to challenge the balance a little bit more. Maybe come back onto your toes. One hand to parrot heart, other hand will meet it. And almost create a little sensation that you could lift yourself off of the heels. Maybe imagine someone drawing you by a golden thread from the crown of the head. Come on forward. We're going to land back in that table. And working with dolphin. Come back onto your elbows. Reach for opposite arms. This time, toes will curl under. Sitting bones reach the sky. Walk your feet into your face. Feel the spine lengthen. Feel the backs of the legs lengthen. Feel that strong connection through the forearms. If you would like more of a stretch, let's walk those toes into the face. Feel yourself breathing in and out through the nose. So breath in and out through the nose will keep the mind and body calm and relaxed and at ease. Let's begin to release up. Knees begin to lower down. Toes curl under, sitting back onto your heels, hanging out here. Option to shift back. We'll try that toe stand one last time. Feel your core engage. Feel your spine lengthen. Maybe invite a little gentle tuck to your chin to help lengthen the back of your neck. Let's release. We're going to take this one forward back into table. Press to down dog when you're ready. As you come into down dog, shake it out, bend your knees, and relax your head yes and no. So if the body is feeling really tight in the pose, bend your knees deeply. That'll be great for protecting your hamstrings. As you find stillness, let's come forward. We're going to take it to plank and working with Sphinx, lower all the way down to your yoga mat. Hands are going to glide out in front. Elbows in line with your shoulders. Reach for opposite arms. Breathe here into your low back bend. Stay here. Option to lift up. Hands press down. Elbows lift up. Elbows wrap in towards one another slightly, finding low cobra pose, Bhujangasana, and arms can straighten as well. We'll work a little bit with seal pose, a little deeper back bend, reach through the crown of your head. Come on down to the mat. Let's take a full breath here. Press yourself back, coming to downward facing dog. Make your way to the top of your yoga mat, come into a fold, and then shake it out in your fold. May feel nice to bend your knees, maybe relax your head yes and no. As you find stillness here, let's begin to take our right foot back, find a runner's lunge, and begin to bend and straighten your front leg. If the ground is feeling far away, maybe bring your hands on blocks for support. And then maybe lower that right knee down into the ground for support as well. Let's begin to make our way forward to a runner's lunge. Spring forward, coming into warrior three pose. And in warrior three, lots of options with arms and hands. Maybe hands can reach out in front of you, arms alongside your body. Come on back. Let's find our way to runner's lunge. Straighten your front leg and fold forward for a moment. Relax your spine and your neck here. Just try to let your head hang heavy like a weight. Back to runner's lunge. Spring forward for warrior three. Feel grounded through all the parts of your left foot. So inside and outside. And then notice your body's natural tendency to tend to roll in, tend to roll out. Come back. Let's take it back to that runner's lunge. Straighten your front leg. Take your fold forward. Maybe do a little scan here. Just notice where you might be holding onto tension. Come on forward, back into lunge. Left hand to the sky. Let's take runner's twist. And then as you take your twist with each in-breath, feel your spine lengthen. On your out-breath, let your twist deepen. Hand floats down, back into warrior three. And just feel the low back and hips even in one line. So maybe roll that right hip down. Imagine you can balance a block on your low back. Let's come to warrior one from here. So as you take warrior one, we're gonna have that nice deep bend in the front knee. Back heel is grounded and planted down. Press firmly into the outer edge of your back foot. So get a nice calf stretch, nice hamstring stretch. Hands behind your body. Coming to a yoga mudra. Let's take a full breath to lengthen and fold yourself forward as you exhale. Try to relax the front of your shoulders and just notice if that helps you move a little bit deeper into the shoulder stretch. Core engages, float it up, back into warrior one. Hands to the earth, take your runner's lunge. Step yourself back into plank. Right hand to the sky, coming into side plank, and then option to have the arm at a little bit of an angle, framing your ear. Feel free to modify this one. You can lower your bottom leg down for less, top leg lifts for more, and you can also come down onto your forearm if you'd like. Let's take it to plank. We're gonna find our high push-up pose, lower down chaturanga, up dog, and press yourself back. Let's come to down dog when you're ready. Right foot's gonna take a big step forward, runner's lunge. Bend and straighten your front leg. So as you're working with the stretch, most important thing is to make sure that your knee and your ankle are stacked in one line. We don't want our knee to be moving too far forward. And if you feel that that's happening, just try to bring some more distance between your front foot and your back foot. Let's come on forward, back into a runner's lunge. Bring yourself through, finding warrior three. Imagine creating a capital T shape with your body. So we want to create this long line that flows from our right heel to our right hip, and then long line from our left heel to crown of head. Runner's lunge, straighten your right leg and fold forward. Play with the weight in the feet if you would like. You can draw more weight into your right foot. That's going to lift your right hip up, Balance your hips and your low back. Come on through for runner's lunge. Land in warrior three. Feel yourself breathing here. So really easy to hold your breath. Nice deep full in breath, nice deep full out breath. Come on back, runner's lunge. Straighten your front leg. Let's come back into our fold. Another nice way to deepen your stretch is to draw your left hip forward. Pull that right hip crease back slightly. Come forward to runner's lunge. Right hand to the sky. Take your twist. Maybe rolling that right shoulder back a little bit. Left shoulder rolling under. Feel that your heart is shining to the sky. Right hand lowers down. Let's come forward back to warrior three pose. And then feel yourself breathing to your stomach, ribs, and chest, and releasing from your chest, ribs, and your stomach. Back to warrior one. Breathe here as you rise your hands up. In time, try to feel that your hips and shoulders are squaring forward. So we want to feel our left shoulder forward, our left hip forward, right shoulder back, and then right hip comes back a little bit. Hands behind your body. Let's come back to our yoga mudra. We're going to take it to our devotional fold. And come back on through. Warrior one. Hands to the earth. Let's take it to a runner's lunge. Step yourself into plank and left hand lift. Let's find side plank. We'll come into Vashisthasana. Maybe that arm frames the ear once again. And feel that top hip energetically lifting up to the sky. So send your hip up. Let's release. Float yourself back to plank. Lower down chaturanga. We're going to take an up dog here. Try to breathe into your low back bend. Press yourself back. Downward facing dog. And come on forward. Let's make our way into our fold. We're going to take a half lift here. Find your flat back. Fold it forward and then rise on up for mountain pose. Hands at your heart space, breathe out. Let's take our right hand for the right foot. So we're going to work a little bit with a yogi toe hold. So for this one, we take our two peace-sign fingers and our thumb. You're going to reach for your right big toe. And you have walls close by probably. So grab onto your walls if you need that. You can take your left hand onto your left hip. And we're going to be here for a moment and breathe. If you'd like to deepen the stretch, let's kick that leg right out in front. Take a nice full in breath, nice full out breath. Right foot opens off to the right. Full breath in, full breath out. Back to neutral. And take your right foot to the left. We're going to invite a nice twist here. And we're going to come back to neutral. Step yourself back into a crescent warrior. So right foot's going to float back. And then on this crescent, let's have our hands on our hips. Feel that that right leg is super active. Press firmly through your heel and the back of your knee. Feel your leg active. Feel the leg energized. Coming into chair, spring forward. So we're going to take our right foot to meet our left foot. Hip sink back and hip sink down. Let's take our left foot back. We're going to take a crescent warrior. We'll take a nice full breath in here. Try to press that heel straight back. Back into chair. Sink those hips back and down. Right foot takes your step back. This time, invite a little knee tap if you'd like. You can lower that knee down. Rise back up. Right foot meets left. Left foot floats back. Maybe tap it down. Come on back. And then next time that your right foot comes back, let's take it back to a warrior two pose. So we're just gonna take a nice big step back and then arms will open up. Feel that your shoulders are right over the hips on this one. We just don't want to be leaning forward or back too much. Feel the feet really grounded and planted. Reverse, take it up and back, reverse warrior. Maybe your right hand glides down your right leg. You can also wrap your arm around your low back. Maybe you reach to the other hip crease, come into a half bind. Back into warrior two. Transition to that lateral angle. Maybe lowering that hand down, coming into extended lateral angle. If the binds in your practice, if you work with the bind, just come on, wrap those arms up if you'd like. And then just trying not to collapse into your bottom shoulder. Try to create a little lift here, a little bit of lengthening here. Come on up, let's take it back to warrior two. Straighten out your front leg, and then we're gonna take our front hand up and back for reverse triangle. Back to neutral spine. Let's do a little reset and we're gonna find pyramid. So for pyramid, right foot can take a hop forward. And we're just gonna have our right toes turning up the yoga mat. Just have that left foot points forward so you have this nice alignment for your body. Hands can reach up, breathe here. Hold it forward, breathe out. And in pyramid, also called intense side stretch pose. So just noticing in your own body where you're feeling the stretch. And then breathing into that. Let's begin to take that right leg up to the sky, coming into standing split. And then as you take your split pose, look to the wall behind you. Maybe take your gaze to the ceiling up behind your body. And from here, we're gonna work with a seated twist transition. So if your knees are a little cranky, you can always skip this one. We're gonna take our right foot off to the left side of our yoga mat. Have some distance between your feet. So the more distance, the better. We also wanna create a diagonal. Let your weight come forward into your toes, into your hands. You're gonna bend your knees. And then your right knee is gonna move to the outside of your left foot. And then try to feel grounded evenly here. Hands are gonna reach up. Let's take a full breath in. And twist to the right, breathe out. As you inhale, feel your spine lengthen. On your exhale, let your twist deepen. Come back to neutral, hands reach up, full breath here. Releasing to the left as you exhale. Maybe gaze off your left shoulder and just see if that invites a little deeper twist. Come back on up. Hands are gonna reach and stretch up to the sky. Hands to heart, breathing out. Find your way back to standing splits. We'll draw our weight forward into our hands, into the toes of our left foot, and then take your right leg up to the sky. As you come back into your standing splits pose, maybe send your weight forward into your toes. So heels are light. Release. Let's take it to runner's lunge. Step yourself back. Find your way to plank. Lower down chaturanga. Up dog. And downward facing dog. Come on forward. Let's make our way to the top of our yoga mat. We're going to take our half lift here. Fold it forward. Come on up from mountain as you inhale. Hands at your heart space as you exhale. Let's take our left hand for that left foot. We'll try that yogi toe hold on the other side. Breathing here. Let's kick that leg right out in front. Full breath in, full breath out. Let's take our left foot off to the left side of the room. Get that great hip stretch, great leg stretch. Come back to neutral and invite that twist. Coming back to neutral. We're gonna float ourselves back to crescent from here. So left foot floats back. Left heel stays lifted. Hands reach up for a moment. Hands can come right to your hips. Let's connect back to our intention that we set at the beginning of the yoga practice. And then carrying that intention with you through the practice, letting that guide you and support you. Let's take our left foot to right for chair. Stick those hips back and down. Right foot takes the float back. We're just going to hold crescent for a moment, maybe get a little lower in that front knee. Float yourself forward, back to chair. Left foot floats back. And then this time, if you'd like, invite that knee tap. You can do that or you can skip it. Right foot takes the float back. Maybe tap. Let's come back to chair. And then when that left foot comes back, we're going to open into warrior two pose. Try to relax your shoulders from your ears. Create that space between the ears and the shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades moving down your back. Reverse, float that front hand up and back. Lateral angle, we'll do a little windmill, a little cartwheel down. Maybe extended lateral angle. And then if that bind is in your practice, coming into the bind. And release. Back onto for warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Right hand reaches up and back. Reverse triangle. Floating back to neutral. Pyramid. Left foot steps forward. Hands reach up. Breathe here. Fold it forward. Breathe out. And then if you would like to play with the weight in the feet, you can do that. Maybe draw more weight into that right foot. Right hip lifts up. Left hip comes forward slightly. Right hip draws back a tiny bit. Left leg lifts. Let's take our standing split pose. Working with our seated full or seated twist. So we're going to take our left foot to the right. Create that distance between your feet. Create a diagonal. Draw your weight forward into your toes and into the hands. Left knee bends, coming to the outside of your foot. You can use your hands to guide you down, and there should be some space for you to sit down here on the left. Coming into an open twist as we start. Hands are going to reach up. Breathe here and twist to the left. Breathe into your low back, mid back, and upper back. And then releasing upper back, mid back, and low back. Hands reach up, breathe here. Hands to the right, breathe out. And then we'll also breathe into the front body. So stomach, ribs, and chest. And then releasing from your chest, ribs, and your stomach. Releasing that, let's take those hands up, full breath here. Hands at heart, breathe out. Hands come right out in front. Let's try it back into our standing split. So we're going to draw the weight forward into our hands, into our right foot, and left leg to the sky. So as you reset back in your standing splits, just looking behind you, let your gaze float right on up to the sky. Let's release. We're going to find our way to runner's lunge. Step yourself back, come into plank. And then as you take plank, lower down chaturanga. We're going to take an up dog here and press it back, finding down dog. Knees will begin to lower. And standing on the knees for a moment, we'll work our core. Hands can come right out onto the hips. Zip your core up, tailbone tucks, navel back and up to spine a little bit. Hands can float out in front in line with your shoulders. And try to create a line that flows from your knees to the crown of the head. So we're just going to begin to draw this line back a little bit. Feel the tops of your feet really gluing down. You might feel this into the quads a bit. Let's take it back a little bit more. Maybe feel those quads working a little more on this one. Take it back. Maybe notice where you're holding that tension. Let the tension go with your exhale. Let's come on forward. We're going to make our way into table. And circling out your hips for a moment. Just a little gentle circle one direction. And then a little gentle circle in the other direction. Come back onto your knees. Hands onto your low back. Fingertips pointing down. Core engages. Send your hips forward. We're going to work a little bit with camel. We'll come into a back bend. So hips are coming forward. You can tuck your chin. You can also relax your head back. Stay here. If you wanted more of a back bend and you're feeling pretty flexible, toes can curl under and those heels are going to be a little higher up. Send your hips forward and breathe here. So gazing down the front body, maybe relax your head back. And release. We're going to float ourselves back to neutral. Take a moment to pause. Take a full breath in. Take a full breath out. Coming down, let's work with seated. And then as you take seated, let's make our way down onto our back. As you come down to your back, reach for the feet. We'll work a little bit with a happy baby stretch. Flex your feet. Reach through the heels. Maybe rock side to side. Maybe finding stillness here. From here, we're going to work a little bit with a half happy baby. So let's start by straightening our right leg along the yoga mat. And then left leg will come to a happy baby stretch. So this is our half happy baby. And we're just going to encourage this left knee down towards the ground. Flex your foot. Press through your heel. And just feel that knee softening down to the mat with each exhale. Maybe close your eyes. Try to clear the mind of thought. And then releasing. Left leg begins to straighten along the yoga mat. Right leg comes up and in. Breathing here for a moment. And then let's begin to release that one. We can take our knees up and into our chest and into our stomach. A little rocking to the right and to the left. And then taking that rocking into circles. And then circle in the other direction. And then we'll release that one. Let's come into relaxation time. So feel free to take any final stretch or movement that you would like to take. If there's any stretch that's going to help your practice feel complete. And you can also grab props that would help you feel nice and comfortable as well. Letting the eyes close here. Try to relax your eyebrows, relax your jaw. Try to feel the back of your head and neck melting into the mat. Relax your shoulders, arms, and hands. Relax the upper, mid, and low back. And also relaxing your legs and relaxing your feet of any tension. It only takes a reminder to breathe, a moment to be still. And just like that, something in me settles, softens, makes space for imperfection. The harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper. And I remember again that life isn't a relay race, that we will all cross the finish line, that waking up to life is what we were born for. As many times as I forget, catch myself charging forward without even knowing where I'm going, that many times I can make the choice to stop, to breathe, and be, and walk slowly into the mystery. Coming onto your side, let's take a fetal position for a moment. So you may want to create a little pillow with your lower arm and gently support your head. And then just feel your body taking the shape of this posture. And then let's come on up. We're going to come into a comfortable seated position. And then as you take seated, hands can come to prayer heart, into Anjali Mudra, into prayer. And we'll end our practice with an Apache prayer. Looking behind, I'm filled with gratitude. Looking forward, I'm filled with vision. Looking upward, I'm filled with strength. Looking within, I discover peace. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope everyone is warm. I hope everyone's enjoying the snow, and I will see you next time. Take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Melissa.
You're welcome.